I guess when you're standing in the middle of a forest and everyone else is pretending there aren't any trees, you start to realize that knowing too much is a social crime in this country. Hey, Canada. It's Earl. We need to look at the receipts from the last 24 hours, because as of April 20th, 2026, the dark side is no longer even trying to hide where their loyalties lie. While Mark Carney was on your screen yesterday telling you that our relationship with the US is a weakness we have to correct, his finance minister, Francois-Philippe Champagne, was already in Washington, D.C., proving that our house is actually just an ATM for everyone else. You wanted the dirt on how Canada isn't even a thought? Let's look at the facts. While Carney was telling you to move on from nostalgia with America, Champagne was in a D.C. boardroom on April 17th, 2026, signing away your future. Champagne signed a memorandum of understanding with World Bank President Ajay Banga for $1 billion, roughly $1.4 billion Canadian, guarantee. Now, this isn't aid for our hospitals or our housing crisis. This is a loan guarantee for Ukraine. A guarantee means you are the co-signer. If Ukraine can't pay the World Bank back, the Canadian taxpayer is the one who pays the bill. We are literally co-signing billions while our own national debt has hit $1.4 trillion. Guys, why is Champagne so worried about Sergei Marchenko, Ukraine's finance minister, while Canadians are struggling? Well, Champagne is now the co-chair of the group of creditors of Ukraine. He's not acting as your finance minister, he's acting as a global debt manager. Since 2022, Canada has committed over $25.5 billion to Ukraine. That is $25.5 billion! Just think about what that money could have done for the people currently being crushed by the Great Depression-level tariffs Carney mentioned yesterday. This is the part that should make you mad. Carney's speech yesterday called the U.S. relationship a weakness we must correct because the world has become dangerous and divided. If the U.S. is a weakness, why was Champagne in Washington, D.C. using the U.S. financial system and meeting with the U.S. Treasury to sign these deals? They only call the U.S. a weakness when it's an excuse to pivot away from the trade that keeps our workers employed. But when they want to spend your money on foreign projects, suddenly Washington is the only place they want to be. Carney says, hope isn't a plan, and we need a shift in national strategy. Their strategy is to turn Canada into the global guinea pig. While they tell you to reevaluate your ties to your closest neighbor, they are tightening your ties to the World Bank and the IMF. They are trying to make it look like they care about us by giving us a 10-cent discount on gas while they're handing out billion-dollar guarantees with your name on the signature line. Champagne isn't worried about Canada because he and Carney are building a digital fortress called Maple Core. They need to stay in the good graces of the global creditors to fund their domestic takeover. They are spending your future in Washington to buy credibility with global bankers while telling you to be afraid of the neighbor who buys 75% of your exports. They want you to believe the world is dangerous, so you won't notice that the most dangerous thing in your life is a government that co-signs billion-dollar loans while you're left to figure out the future on your own. They aren't building Canada strong, they're building a global credit line on your back. Thanks for watching. Stay awake.